What's up, guys? So today, I want to talk a little bit about an event we did back in June called the Klim Cow Tag event. It was up in Kelly, Idaho, near Idaho Falls, and this event is something that Klim puts together to raise awareness, or I should say, raise funds for the Blue Coalition, right? So that we can fight for land access, things like that. So it's something that I've done all of them except one for as long as they've been going on. They've been going on, man. I want to say the first one was like 6 years ago or something, maybe 5 years ago. Not something they do every single year just because of permitting and things like that. But whenever they announce one, I definitely make sure I can go because it's a ton of fun. Usually, all the Boondocker movie writers get together. You know, Fatty Smasher, Aaron Case, Ryan Searle, just anyone that kind of has been a part of that group, those friends. We kind of all get together and do this, and so it's a great time to hang out with all my snow friends. I call them my snow friends because I mainly see these guys in winter, but it's a great time to see them in summer, ride some single track, and of course support an amazing cause. So this year, it was fun. You know, I didn't have a motorcycle. I was kind of going through my business breakup. It had just happened a few weeks prior. So Weldon from Ride Moab Industries, he came up, wanted to go, so he hitched a ride with my family and I. We cruised up. What are we doing?
What are we doing? I don't know. I just drove up here and jumped in.
We're headed to Idaho.
I don't know what I signed up for.
We have some stowaways. Headed to the Klim Cow Tag. It's gonna be fun.
Max?
Stayed in the campground with everybody else. Luckily, Fatty had an extra spot for me because I was kind of on the fence. Can I even make it? Can I even go? You know, I didn't really have any money, so we were able to make it happen though. A lot of fun. One of the cool things is that because I didn't have a bike, I needed one, right? And so my buddies Ryan, Aaron, and Drew, they have a rental company, Stable Mountain Rentals, and I rented a Sherco 250 from them, a 2022 Sherco. This thing was amazing. I already had all the cool stuff, you know, had mooses in it, protection products. It was a legit bike, like way more legit than the rentals I had ever offered. And that's one of the coolest things about their gig, is that they provide you with not only a cool bike, but you know, they pimp it out with protection products and, you know, products that make it very usable, especially for like me. I'm not a tubeless guy. I don't like tubeless, and I certainly hate running tubes because nobody wants to deal with flat tire, and I'm not the best rider ever, so I'm constantly deflecting off of rocks and stuff like that. So if you give me a tube or tubeless setup, I'm probably going to puncture it. So bike came, you know, with some Nitro Moose tubeless, Nitro Moose. Why can't I think of the word? I don't know. Anyway, I had some Nitro Mooses in that bad Larry. So bike was set up perfect, just to my liking. Loved it. Even rocking some IRC tires. I want to say they had the M5B on there, which is a tire we would always run. Great tire. I've really loved them. And when I say we, I guess I'm kind of still referring to Tracked Out a little bit. Justin, Cow and I, we've always liked that tire, but I should say I like that tire. So a little bit on that Sherco. It's 22 model. I'd never ridden one before. They're carbureted, and I've always had this idea in my head that like, oh no, it's got to be, you know, TPI or something like that. But I was shocked with how hard this bike hit. Like the thing ripped. It was sweet. So we kind of went out the day before. I got to do a little bit of single track. We went on a little fun ride, you know, the whole crew together before, you know, kind of shake down. And you know, there are other guys that are renting bikes as well from Stable Mountain. So I'll throw a link in the description if you're headed to Idaho Falls area or Island Park. Um, please get a hold of these guys. They have awesome machines, and this is winter stuff. They got really cool snowmobiles. Obviously the dirt bikes. They have some side by sides, but like I said, again, you're not just getting like a typical machine rental that they've unboxed from Ski-Doo or Polaris or Churco and just hand it off. This thing's built with purpose. It's got I know on their snowmobiles they do suspension and of course aftermarket A-arms, all the stuff from Zebros. We love Zebros. A lot of us guys ride for Zebros, and they definitely make kick-ass products. So I've always let my clients ride my snowmobile to kind of see the difference between the suspension setup. But if you go with Stable Mountain, you're actually going to get like full blown suspension for the day. It's on all of their sleds. It's pretty crazy what they are doing. I really like that. In the future, I want to be more like them. So, yeah, first day was fun. We just did some riding, some hanging out at camp, getting ready for the event. The next day kicks off. We were like one big group, but there were a couple offshoots of that group. Like I kind of mainly rode with the Stable Mountain boys. They're some of my best friends, so I was really stoked to actually get to hang out with Ryan and Aaron. I hadn't been since I think my avalanche instructor training course the past winter that I got to hang out with them. So it's good to catch up, hang out with them. Of course, introduce my buddy Weldon to those guys. Absolutely love Weldon. He and I are doing some cool moto vacations together. Something I always wanted to do. And Weldon, once things were kind of going down with Tracked Out and I was gone, I was feeling pretty down in the dumps, and Weldon was there to, and same with Ryan and Aaron. They're all there to really push me to be like, dude, you can't stop. You got to keep going. What do you want to do? Let's do it. And it's been awesome to have such a great group of dudes, really pushing me and helping me get back, because I was, filled with a lot of anxiety, self-doubt, self-worth, stuff like that. I mean, I was going through the motions. So it was awesome to be at an event soon after with all my buddies riding dirt bikes, doing what I love to do most in the summer, so hitting that mountain single track. And what better place than Idaho? I mean, Idaho's single track is gold. Utah's is awesome too. It's just that, I ride Utah every day, so it doesn't have like, I guess, that feeling when you go somewhere new, right? And so that was part of the beauty of going up there. Later on, okay, so let's break into the actual event. So they do it at the ski resort, and it's cool because they have like, you're at this mountain, cool like lodge, and Dustin Pancary's up there from Climb, kind of telling us what's going on, all these what trails to stay off of. They still had snow, and so there are a couple trails where we couldn't cut across and access that we normally would. So just kind of talking, giving you the rider brief for the day, right, and what time we got to be back by. So we set off on our journey, right, and first trail of the day is like the hardest one for some reason. Like it's just up and up and up and up and up, and it's this nasty trail. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but for being the first trail, I always get massive arm pump at the beginning of the day, like right off the bat. And so I typically like to start the day a little slower, easier trails, slow, work into things. That way I don't just like completely blow my arms and hands apart. And I was just like, I got to get up this thing. Something cool that I really loved about the Churco. Like I want to dive into the Churco real quick, a little bit more. So it's got all those cool products, but Churcos come with fan kits. And if you ride any hard single track in the Rocky Mountains, you got to have a fan kit. Or if you're a hard enduro rider in the desert, a fan kit is a must. And so we had a lot of boiling bikes. Things were just overheating like crazy. And the Churco was she was a strong iron, right? Just she kept ripping.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, buddy, we're getting there.
And so I was able to make a bunch of, it's kind of funny because I was kind of in the back screwing around, and then I found myself just like, no, I want to see what this bike's capable of. I also want to see what I'm capable of. Like, I haven't been riding in a bit. You know, last time I had ridden was probably April. And so I was like, I'm gonna charge hard. I'm gonna see what I can do, right? And I just kept going and going and going to push myself, and I ended up picking off a bunch of dudes up along the trail. You know, I mean, this is just fun. This isn't a race, but it's fun to push yourself, and of course around your buddies, and see who the top dog is. Am I right, Smasher? That was actually one of the best ones. Is Smasher kind of looked sad when I passed him. He had that look in his face like, oh my gosh.
Woo! Oh! Yeah, buddy. Getting it. Oh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh yeah.
So I think he was dealing with some overheating issues or something, but I don't know. I'll let you tell that story, Smasher. But either way, it was fun to pass the top dog, you know, get up on top of the mountain before him. So I got up top, and you know, Ryan from Snow West is there, and Kim and Adam O'Nash. I love those guys. They're so fun. It was really cool to ride with those guys. You know, that's the thing, is the best part about this whole thing is getting to hang out with so many of these friends I have that live all over the freaking country, right? In man, what a good group to ride with, because it's just nothing but smiles and fun. So get up there, and I hung out up there for a little bit because we had some issues with some of the guys in our crew, dealing with some broken bike parts and things like that down below. And I was like, you know, I just don't have the energy to drop back down there and come back up again, because I had I'd exerted myself pretty good going up there. But yeah, so I hung out, waited for everybody to come up there, and then we kind of continue on, and like right out the gate, I'm following Aaron Case, and we're going up this nasty rock section. Like, it felt like straight up, and he kind of flips his bike, and he and his bike come like boom, slamming right back into me.
You all right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. All was well. Bikes were fine. You know, I mean, like I said, these bikes have a lot of protection products on them. So dirt bikes are like, of all the machines out there, you could beat dirt bikes pretty good. And so anyway, kind of get Aaron situated. We continue on. And that was kind of one of the funnier things that happened during it. But the single track up there is just amazing. Like everything you ride is just awesome views. You know, for the most part, it's fast and flowy, with just like a hint of technical. You know, there's a couple trails that are just gnarly, but for the most part, you know, it's I would say probably anywhere from, you know, a lower intermediate rider would love these trails.
Oh yeah.
We'd go to you'd have to go to all these checkpoints, right? We're collecting cow tags, and each one is worth different points all over the mountain. And at the end of it, you get these raffle tickets, right? And you can enter all these drawings and win stuff. And so you go for the most points you can, right? So you kind of create this route. You're like, all right. And you're running into different people all over the mountain. I end up finding like a bunch of my buddies from Utah. They're up there. The guys from Alpine XC, Josh, Kent, like, just so great seeing all these guys. It's just funny because, you know, these, again, like, it's just like a huge community of us riders who all know each other, you know, and some of us live so far away, but we're all kind of buddies on Instagram and Facebook. So, you know, you see your other buddy out there and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go up this too. And then you venture off a different way and you meet up with them later in the day. It's kind of crazy how it all works, but it's, you know, a lot of fun. So this year, when you're collecting cow tags, they had this app, Reaver, I want to say it was called. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'll post whatever it is. It's actually a pretty cool app, and I thought the technology was pretty cool. So you go to these checkpoints, right, where these cow tags, where you'd see the cow tag, and you'd get out your phone, and you would basically, you know, once you walked into it, it would flag that you were there, and you had gotten the cow tag, and you know it kept a trail, a breadcrumb of everywhere you'd been on the mountain. So you could see like what all cow tags you'd hit and how many points you got. And I thought it was really cool. The only downside was a lot of these GPS coordinates were like 100 feet off the trail or 200 feet. Like I mean, I full on hiked like way down into this ravine to get one of them. And I hiked up an entire mountainside to get one of them, you know, and I felt like I spent more time walking around trying to collect these tags than I did on my bike in some cases, right? It's not true. I mean, I definitely rode more than I walked, but some of them were a jaunt, and you know, I was just trying to play it the best I could. A lot of people had given up on it, and I still think it's way cool. I think obviously they just need to refine it, and they need to kind of verify these like, I guess, portals, I would call them. You know, and I know that takes a little bit more preparation on you know, Climb and how they're hosting the event. You know, obviously it takes more man hours out of that, but I think the technology was cool. And I don't think that they should give up on it, you know, for the next one. I just think that, you know, you have to take a little more time to actually make sure things are proper out there. I'm guessing that like they went out with the GPS, wrote down some coordinates, went back, typed those coordinates into the thing, and you know, depending on what GPS unit you're using, you could be off, you know, you could be off a couple inches, you could be off hundreds of feet. So it's, I don't know. I thought it was still pretty cool. So, um, yeah. So I think two of my favorite kind of things that happened on the mountain were obviously that very first trail, the first day, and just seeing like how awesome that Sherco was. And then at the end, I ran into some dudes from Utah I knew, and they were ripping behind me. And I didn't, at the beginning, I didn't know that I knew them. They're just some guys I kind of met up with. And I was just ripping. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And I saw Weldon like trying to flip over someone else's motorcycle down in this ravine. And I was like, yo, I want no part of that right now. Like, I'm so beat because I just walked up the mountainside to collect one of these tags. And so I'm just so beat trying to get up this hill. And at the end of it, there was like this nasty root section. And anyway, I ended up like wheeling, almost looping out the bike. And somehow I didn't loop it out. I've just set it down, kind of on its side, like pointed sideways. And me and these two other dudes are just laughing our asses off. It was so funny.
Oh boy. Shit! Shit! Woo! All right! Oh, I got it on mine. Huh? Get out of your way.
You're fine, man.
Woo!
You handled that so nicely.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
And then we, I keep ripping up this thing, and we get to the top, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from, dude?" And I'm like, "Utah." They're like, "Wait, is that you, DJ?" And anyways, it's just funny, like, seeing more people I knew out there. But it's a good event, and I look forward to it every year. They always do a great job at hosting it. Obviously, it's for a great cause. So if you can, in the future, make it out to one of these. They're a blast, and obviously the Stable Mountain rental thing worked well for a lot of us. They have a variety of bikes, betas, Shercos. I think just betas and Shercos, actually. Oh, they have TMs. I'd never seen a TM in person. In fact, I never even knew what a TM was until they showed me. And I was like, whoa, like this is a whole like hand-built motorcycle. Pretty crazy. I didn't ride it. I haven't ridden it. I hear crazy things about it. I just feel like I don't have the money to fix a TM. I'm sure it's insanely hard to get parts for it, but I was really happy with the Sherco I rented from them and got to ride. And I nearly thought I was going to buy a Sherco. I ended up buying a gas off Weldon, a gas 300. So the gas has been awesome. But man, what a blast on that Sherco. So really fun event. On the way home, my truck decided that it was going to have number 4 injector stick wide open. So we can only go like 35 miles an hour. But that was kind of a bummer. So it took a couple hours to get home. When I say a couple, I mean like 7 or 8. And stupid little pigtail on the injector just I guess there's some electrical issue with them. The connector like wears down or something and no longer works. So pretty easy fix, luckily. And yeah, so I'm kind of hoping they do it again. I know they also do. I know Climb also does like a snow bike version of this same thing. I don't really ride snow bikes. I don't have that big of a desire to until they get some more horsepower. Then I'll probably never ride snowmobile again. But from what I hear, the snow one is a lot of fun too. So yeah, that's kind of it. And I'm stoked you guys came here, watched this. So please, a lot of you guys have subscribed. That's super awesome. Keep it up. Like I said, I want to do as much of this as possible. This has kind of always been something I wanted to do. So I'm going to push hard on it, especially now that I have time. So hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or comments about the event, want to know more, please, fire away the questions. I'd love to, see more of you there the next time it goes down. But again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.